Aw, animals.
United to get tougher on passengers with comfort pets. After the misadventure of Dexter, the very dapper peacock last week, United has gotten tough on emotional support pets. From March 1st, 2018, all passengers flying with a support animal will show documentation showing their pet has behavioral training and is vaccinated. So phonies best beware. This is the friendly skies after all. Passengers currently traveling with comfort pets need to show they're in legit need of their animal. They have to give United a letter from a mental health professional and 48 hours notice of their plans to travel with the animal. Otherwise, well, as we've said before, beware the friendly skies. Stick around for more on United. United renders support peacock flightless. United Airlines rejected a passenger of the feathered variety at the weekend. Dexter, a very dapper peacock, was denied entry to a United flight in Newark Liberty International Airport on Sunday. He belongs to a Brooklyn artist named Ventico and is her emotional support animal. Ventico offered to pay United for Dexter's seat, but the airline wasn't about to let this bird fly the friendly skies. Apparently, he was just too damn big and heavy. In an Instagram post, Dexter wrote that he spent 6 hours waiting to get on a flight, but his human friends were going to drive him to LA. And that's just weird. Don't birds usually fly and stick to Twitter?
Abuse of power? United Airlines is once again embroiled in controversy after a passenger complained that she was booted from her first-class seat to make room for a Texas lawmaker. On December 18th, Jean Marie Simon was in Houston waiting to board the last leg of her round-trip DC to Washington flight. Simon bought first-class tickets and was supposed to be in seat 1A, but the gate agent who scanned her ticket found that it wasn't in the system and asked her if she had canceled her flight. Her seat had apparently been taken, and she was given a $500 voucher and reseated in Economy Plus. Simon soon found out her seat had ultimately been given to U.S. Rep. Sheila Jackson Lee, a Houston Democrat. Another congressman on the flight also told her Jackson Lee made the habit of bumping passengers off flights, and it was the third time he'd personally seen her do it. Simon also says a flight attendant approached her after she snapped a photo of Jackson Lee and threatened to have her removed if she caused problems. Responding to the incident, Jackson Lee claimed she never asked for special treatment, before then saying Simon may have easily targeted her as an African-American woman. Simon flatly denies the racism accusation. She has since written the United CEO of her ordeal, but has only received an apology from a resolution manager. The 63-year-old private school teacher has yet to receive a formal apology from the company.
United Airlines Bunnygate scandal rumbles on. The owners of a giant rabbit that died after flying with United Airlines are demanding an investigation into his death and compensation from the carrier, which has been having quite a few PR problems lately. Simon, a continental giant rabbit, died last month after a flight from London to Chicago's O'Hare International Airport. The bunny's former owner said he had a checkup just 3 hours before hopping on the plane and was fit as a fiddle. Simon was on his way to his new owners, Iowa-based investors who'd pinned their hopes on him winning their state fair's biggest rabbit competition. According to at least one airline employee, Simon may have accidentally been locked in a freezer for 16 hours after the plane landed in Chicago. Now, attorneys for the rabbit's owners are calling for an independent investigation. They say United cremated Simon after his death without permission from the owners, pretty much destroying any evidence left in the case. Standing 3 feet tall before his untimely passing, Simon was expected to be officially named the biggest rabbit in the world. The Iowa group bought him from UK-based rabbit breeder Annette Edwards. She owns Simon's 4-foot-long father Darius, and he remains the world's largest bunny. Simon's owners want United to pay his purchase price, shipping costs, and the economic loss of his death. The owners are giving the airline 7 days to respond before they file a lawsuit.
United Airlines sends rapper Schoolboy Q's dog to the wrong city. Just when you realize you haven't heard United Airlines mentioned in the headlines lately, a fresh new PR disaster pops right up. This past weekend, a passenger's pet ended up in the wrong city, and unfortunately for the troubled airline, this particular passenger carries his own mic. On July 14th, rapper Schoolboy Q boarded a flight from Missouri to Burbank, California. During a stopover in Denver, arrangements had been made for a French bulldog puppy he'd just purchased to be loaded onto his connecting flight. But when Schoolboy Q landed and went to greet his new pet, he was stunned to find someone else's animal in the cage. Turns out the poor little pup had been switched by mistake during the flight transfer and was on his way to Chicago. As you can imagine, the Grammy-nominated artist was none too pleased and voiced his displeasure on Twitter, demanding answers. Thankfully, United managed to locate the puppy, named Yurndamine, and reunited him with his famous owner a few hours later. United issued the disgruntled rapper a full refund and a public apology, but unsurprisingly, Schoolboy Q still has a serious bone to pick with the airline. He told CNN he plans on suing.
United bounces lady en route to visit dying mother. United demonstrated how to fly the friendly skies last week once again, this time by throwing out a passenger en route to see her dying mom. Last week, Carol Amrich was flying from Colorado to Minnesota and checked in, scanned her ticket at the gate, and got on the plane. The ticket was bought by Amrich's landlord in his press loss via Traveler Help Desk and then changed to an earlier flight through United after Amrich's mom, Dixie Hansen, got worse. Prisloss said United told them the change wouldn't cause any issues, but it did. Traveler's Help Desk said they refunded the ticket to protect against fraud. While she was strapped in, a gate agent came to remove her and said her ticket was refunded. Amrich told The Times the agent said to her, "Nobody flies for free." Back in the airport, Amrich called Prisloss and put her onto the gate agent. She offered to buy another ticket, but the flight left. So instead, Amrich drove the 1,000 miles from Colorado to Minnesota without stopping in a last-ditch attempt to see her mom. But by the time she got there, her mother was gone.